Hello students, now we'll learn about planning a diet. So diet means we all see there are many different types of diet, but how we have to plan, that may be in healthy concept or in maybe in therapeutic form. So maybe if you are particular diet, there are different varieties of diet, depends upon how we are going to plan. So generally for a healthy well-being or the well-balanced diet, we have to follow certain rules and regulation while planning a diet. So planning may be normal diet, it is very important because for healthy living normal diet is very important. For some other particular maybe therapeutic, if there is any cardiovascular disease, then you have to give low fat. If the patient is hypertensive, then you have to give low sodium. So that are not low, that are not diets, so that are like therapeutic diets. So here normal diet, so that is we have to follow some rules and regulation while planning a healthy well balanced diet for a Indian adult or a children. So people eating habit of enormous, and the dietitian must respect the dietary freedom and diversity when making the recommendation. So there is an important point where we have to give importance for the habit and the diet part, what the patient is following or what is the person is following, because we can't tell you eat this one and you change your completely your habit and their cultural strength, everything, dietary diversity. So all those are very important. There are many ways of eating to be healthy, and best way to achieve the balanced diet is the plan meal in a relation of other food or for a whole day. So while planning a diet, it should be for a whole day, so it should reach all their requirements, and it is advisable to eat small regular meals rather than one huge meals. There are some people have habit of eating at one stretch, but it is not a good habit. But if you are putting whole you are increasing putting your whole weight on your body, like maybe eating overloading your body, so that should not happen. So it should be followed properly. So there are some certain principles while planning a diet. So meeting the nutritional requirement, meeting nutritional requirement is the important thing, because nutritionally, so we have for Indians we have a RDA, so recommended dietary allowances, that is from ICMR. We have recent reference for 2010. So meeting nutritional requirement, because while planning a diet, that whole one day meal should meet all the nutritional requirements. Sometimes it may less, maybe the minerals or the vitamins here and there it will be missed, but the negligible amount or the small quantity also it should be there. So completely making healthy meal, it is possible, but here and there some nutrient will be in higher proportion and some will be in lower quantity. So all those are important. So nutrition, meeting all the nutrition requirement is important point. That is a main principle of planning a diet. Meal pattern must fulfill their family needs. So in this also, while planning the family, there may be different people, maybe there will be 2 adult, 2 children, 2 old age people. The planning should meet their whole family, because whole family they won't prepare separate food. So they will take whole family and they will plan one menu. So that menu should reach all the family, if there are children, if they are adult, if they are old age. So if something, if in the family, if there is one is diabetic, means we can't manage, but still it is possible to maintain and give a healthy balanced diet. So meal planning should save time and energy. So anyways, meal planning, it should not be something else which is of more time taking and more cooking time and more processing. All those are not needed, and yet it should save the time and the energy, because time and energy, if you are simply wasting while cooking for a long time, so they can't do any other work. So they can't give complete their whole day time to food. So that's why it should save the time and energy, and economic consideration, that is very important. So all family income will be different, so annual income will be different, and some proportions or some portion they will keep for the food. So it should come within that economic level. So we can't tell you eat more of like this thing, dry fruits. So some people say, usually dietitians do the same thing. So when they say dry fruits is good, they say a poor economic family to take dry fruits. So they are not economically affordable, so it is very costly. Some reasonable the economic consideration is very important. So there will be middle class family or the poor rich. So you have to give some alternative for each and every food, and meal planning should give maximum nutrients. So it should not be someone dense nutrient only, should not give only carbohydrate or only protein or only vitamin minerals. It should give complete well balanced diet. That means one whole diet, it should contain around 60 to 65% of carbohydrate and 15 to 20% of protein, and rest it is to be fat. So it will be a balanced diet. then using that vegetables or anything, it should be wholesome or the whole food. Then consideration of individual likes and dislikes. So usually this point will hold good in the therapeutic form or the therapeutic diet, because your task individual importance should be given, because some people may like some particular food and some people may like a particular may not like, or some may like too much. So that also should be taken, because we can't force them to eat this particular food. Sometimes usually happens in the brinjal, some people say brinjal is not good, it is allergic. Few people may like, but few people may not like. So that means we should not forcefully make them to eat, but in some cases of therapeutic we have to make it, but we have to make them to understand. And if they are introducing new food, then they have to adjust with that food. Initially it should be sips, then it should be increased to a large quantity. So meal planning should provide variety, and meal planning should be satiety level and availability of the health value of food should be considered. So meal planning should provide some variety, it should not be monotonous. Rice means only, should not be only white rice, give some varieties. So some varieties in the sense we can give white rice, instead of white rice you can go for a brown rice to red rice, so some varieties. So that is important, and it should fill their hunger, and they should not feel hungry after eating the food also. So their requirement also you have to take care, and their hunger level, so they have to manage it both. Then availability of the food, some food are available here, some are not available. So within that area where he is located or she is located, that area, the availability, locally available food is very important, because it will be cheaper in price and that can be manageable with the environment also. So it is very important point, availability. So something foods are not available, we can't tell him to get it, because it won't be available, or the cost wise it will be too high. Then health value of should be considered. So each and every food there will be particular health values. So that also is a important point. So points to be considered in planning a diet. So RDA must be met. The total requirement can be RDA of plus or minus 50 kilocalories. So RDA is recommended dietary allowance, that I told you. ICMR we have a standards, so almost it should be reached. So RDA is taken into account only when they are healthy. So if there is any therapeutic diet, it is not mentioned, we will be calculating the average. So it should meet the calorific requirement of their per day according to their physical activity and how they are working and their endurance to the activity. So energy derived from cereals should not be more than 70%. So I told you 60 to 60% from the cereals. So if you are using more of cereals, then you will get only the single nutrient, that is carbohydrate. So that's why you have to use different types of cereals. And whole grains. So whole grains cereals are very important, because it will give higher nutritive value and higher phytochemical value. So phytochemical value is nothing but the antioxidant or the phytochemical that is present in the plant, which will increase your health status and it will can cure or prevent some diseases. 3 serving of pulses every day. So pulses are nothing but the green gram or the dal or anything. So usually people will use only the single dal, but they can use whole pulses. That too, germination of pulses is very important. So germinating will increase the nutritional value of each particular food. And foods rich in fiber. So fiber rich foods will be used, that may be the fruits and vegetable or the unprocessed cereals or the pulses. Every meal should contain at least one medium sized fruit. So at least, so minimum one medium sized fruit should be there, or they can take to whole quantity also. Always whole fruit is better than juice. And 5 serving of colorful fruits and vegetables. So that is also very important. 5 serving means 1 serving is 100 grams. So at least half kg of vegetable, fruit and vegetable they have to eat in a day. So use of salt and sugar in moderate. So that is also not good. Salt should be less than 5 gram and sugar should be less than 20 gram per day. And combination of oil will give proper balance of N3, omega 3 and omega 6 fatty acids. So that is also important point. You can mix, neither you can mix the oil or you can use different oil for 15 days. And quick calculation for exchange list can be used. So we have food exchange list, so that also can be used to, you can quickly calculate. So no use of processed food containing the variety of additives. So if the food additive is more used in some processed food, they can reduce it or they can avoid using all those things. These are the points of these are the principles what we have to follow and points to be considered while planning a diet. So all these points you have to keep in mind while planning a diet, then you can give a very good well balanced diet. Thank you.